Hello, everybody, and welcome to Critting It, episode number 22. I could count this time. It only took me 3 episodes.
4, actually.
This one's turning into a trilogy.
Oh my gosh.
So you can't count.
Yay! I can totally count. Shush. Last time on Critting It, having slain the Agral, harvesting the pieces from it, Ellanya taking the heart, Cruz and the rest taking the head, Edward Ludicius joined them. After swapping information, Edward describing how he now has the ability to, more accurately than not, to jump through various levels of the fracture in the surface, and granting access to this network to the rest of the group, Ellanya in turn gave him the information that she had gathered, descending through the 8 levels of the fracture. Having now returned to the surface, after Gascar as well had a little bit of a closer look at the inner workings of Castiel's box, ergo a mildly threatening air about him as he did so, discovered it to be, in fact, to all intents and purposes, truly mechanical. But, having now returned to the surface, Edward and the rest determined that they were going to have a little bit of a conversation with the bookkeeper, or the shopkeeper, who was holding Ellanya's book hostage in a way, as it was one of her family heirlooms. And now, having received it from one Mr. Edward the Dishing, paying a strange upmarked price for it, but nonetheless getting it and returning to it, the rest of the group, being Parker, Gascar, Cruz, and Vall, have decided to go back to the guild hall, either to turn in the contract or to go on and read some new literature. Ellanya and Edward, however, found their way back into Edward's study, of which he had now gone over the book, reading line by line and page by page through it, before now closing it and turning to Ellanya. You don't know what you have here. This details a possible creation of the first fracture.
What do you mean?
This accounts for a group known as the Deodovan. You know of them here, correct?
Yes.
The Deodovan are the true creators behind Magitech.
Okay. What does that have to do with the fracture?
Look here. You see him open the book and begin to pass through the lines. You see, your family. They used to be very involved in the war with Edanin and Kenvadesh. They fought on the side of Edanin, hoping to use magic and the light and the druidic ways to repel Kenvadesh. Now, the problem occurred when there was intel about an object known as, and he points to it, an alquirium. Points to a very finely elven scripted word. This alquirium seems to be the source of magic within the world. At least that is what your people have come to believe. It becomes very vague near the end as to what exactly happened to it, but they are speaking about the Reinhardts having a direct role in removing it. It seems as though the Reinhardts tricked the Deodovan into giving them the secrets to sealing magic, and then in turn somehow caused the removal of this alquirium, which is what has made magic begin to fade from the world.
Are you telling me that this was all done for profit?
Given the fact that this was written during the War of Kenvadesh and Edanin, this was going to be used as a weapon, I'd imagine.
But what would they need a weapon for in a dying world?
The world wasn't dying previous to this. Whichever side the Reinhardts were playing on, If they had access to an infinite font of magic so large that anything that you did, anything you thought possible, was able to come true, that could turn the tide of any war.
So the question is, what do we do now?
But with this information, we have a possibility of knowing. There's no way to know if this is truly accurate. This was written almost 200 years ago. A little bit more. Up to this point, it isn't exactly clear how Magitech came to be in the Reinhardt's possession, but it seems as though with the Deodovan, they weren't native, and they were far to the north, so I wouldn't imagine that your people would have had much contact with them. However they came about this information was it's not clear, but maybe not even to be trusted. But the point being, the fractures are created.
And there's 20 of them created. So does that mean that somebody would have had 20 fractures?
Wait a minute. If the world possessed an Alquirium, the source of all magic within the planet, the removal of it would have triggered a possible disconnect. Like cutting a wire in between or disconnecting it from one end of power. Power cannot transfer from one way to the other.
Right.
Perhaps that's where the gods have been blocked off. Perhaps in removing the Alquirium from the world, you've taken the gods out of the planet, removed magic, and all at once created the 20th level of fracture.
Do you think the Alquirium is in the 20th level?
Right now I'm thinking whether or not the gods are actually gods. If the Alquirium is on the 20th level, and the gods are the ones who have been working this world like a puppet from the beginning, perhaps they are just mortals who have come across these. Maybe they all run off of the same power source. I don't know. It's theory by this point, but...
Okay.
I think there may have been one on each level. In your descriptions of accounting each level having been tied to a god, my belief is perhaps the gods were on their own planes, using their own power sources or their own innate abilities. But if one of these was left on the planet, perhaps to power it as maybe a neutral source, and then the removal of it disconnected everything.
Well, I'm hoping that if I get to the 4th level, I can answer a lot of these questions. I'm hoping if I pray to Lamonia, she may show herself or communicate in some way, and she might be able to give me the guidance that I'm looking for. And would you like me to pay you back for the book?
No, consider it a gift.
Oh, thank you.
A welcoming token into me having extended a gift to you as your guild sponsor. Now, the rest of you, having made it to the guild hall, what are you doing? Vall, you make it there first. You're fastest.
So I will just brazenly enter through the front door, reading my newfound book.
Okay. Upon entering in, you find several of the prism guards around you see you, cock their heads, and begin to walk to intercept you, kind of putting their hands on their weapons. Sir.
Wait.
We will have you stop there.
Well, I don't see why. We have completed the Malfeasance Pact.
I have not heard word of you completing it.
Did he? That's right. He is incredibly slow. The big guy. He has the thing. I'll wait here. Don't worry about it. No. I'm going to go sit, though.
You see two of them flank you on each side, and Mai looking at you strangely. You know what? I have learned my lesson. I will wait for them. And just waits for the rest of you to arrive, of which now you arrive.
Cruz?
I'm just walking up. I have the bag in my hand.
Okay.
Is it dripping? Did the blood, drip through it at all? It was, it kind of concealed.
Oh, no, it's dripping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what else did you have in your backpack, sir?
Well, there's claws and gross goo bags.
Oh, yeah, no, it's dripping.
So, yeah, I'm just going to walk up and... Am I able to brush past the guards with the bag in my hand, or are they going to give me problems?
They're going to flank you, but at this point, they're, trained on Mai, and my name is just kind of, waving her hand at them this figures.
Yeah, I'm going to walk straight to Mai and put the bag right on the table in front of her.
She opens the bag, pulls out the head, starts giving it a once, twice, 3 times over, just looking it over, flipping it around. Actually getting her hands pretty dirty in doing this and kind of flops it down. Well, I will... This is definitely a creature I have not seen before.
Call relic. Come on. But, by the way, did you happen to notice that we walked through the front door and not through the guild hall?
I did notice this, yes. Now, again, there are many questions to answer here now, because you know what? No one has seen the Agral. Now...
I'm going to bet that douchebag Tom Tibia, who just left us for dead down there, probably knows exactly what the Agral has looked like and probably fed for his little cowardly life. So why don't you go fetch him?
I see you are very angry at the Fracture Guard for having to make sure you were properly imbibed on your way down.
Now, he was just doing his job, so yes.
Nope, he drugged people. He's a douche.
Indeed. It is custom to leave you down there in the least cognitive way possible.
No, you just want to do us dirty and kill us. That's all it is. So here's your head, and you know what? Our business might just be done, right?
Let us call it done. However, do not also forget that it was a malfeasance pact against 4 separate murders. If you want to throw any kind of guilt towards one or the other, know that it is on your face first.
They attacked us first.
We're not going to get into the discussion of self-defense and murder. So I also have a bunch of claws and glands in here, so I'm hoping you can give us a little extra cash to go along with it and make our day a little bit better.
Well, let me see them.
I'm just going to tip the bag over and pour them all out.
Black ichor now oozing across her very clean desk. You do see all of the pieces you had gathered. She begins to go through them one by one, examining them. She picks up the glands and actually spends quite a bit of time looking at them. You do notice her pull out kind of a red vial from underneath her desk. See one of the drops kind of put into it, of which it just kind of like turns it a muddied red. She kind of like grabs another one, dips it in. This one green, still no effect. Grabs another blue one, dips it in, no effect. Very curious, she sets it down. The claws, I can offer you 100 credits per. Now, for these glands, I am not seeing them have any particularly known effect on any of my very basic chemicals. I will offer you 500 credits per. It's a very strange and very unique.
So, a grand total of 2,300. Tell you what, make it 2,400 and you have a deal. Even split between members of the party. Let's go 2,400.
Very well. It will make up for some of the money some people lost betting that you'd be dead.
Who betted on us to die? Was it any of the party members?
As you say that, you see every one of the secretaries turn their head to you. And then kind of turn back to their work. Yes, sorry, there's not much that we can do, so sometimes we make friendly wagers. And then you see, like, cred sticks being passed her way from all the way around the circle.
Thanks for betting on us.
You're welcome.
She's just playing the odds.
Well, I like to think she had faith in us.
Indeed.
She has faith in money.
I'm gonna divide up the money and hand everybody their money.
Wonderful. Congratulations. You have been absolved of your malfeasance pact. Well done.
So, out of curiosity, I want to make sure everything is absolutely clear here. Are we going to be arrested if we walk outside the guild hall?
No, sir. You have completed your recompense for your crime. Right now, you have a clean slate as if it never happened.
Very good. And Gaskar is going to head into the guild hall and go to his bed.
Gaskar, should we go meet up with Ellanya? I need to rest. I got 6 HP, but I'm going to go meet with Ellanya.
Yeah, let's do that.
Parker, Vall, are you going to join us?
As soon as I hear the malfeasance pact is cleared, I leave.
Okay.
Actually, same for Parker.
Okay.
So when I turn after I give them their money, are they just gone, or do I still have their money?
You still have the money.
I would actually, yeah, you still have my money as well.
So I definitely toss 600 to Gaskar.
I grab that and I go get Cole and come back and walk out of the guild hall myself.
All right. Well, I am leaving to go meet up with Ellanya.
Okay. Parker, where are you going? Actually, no, Vall, you're faster. Where are you going?
Well, I'm not at a breakneck speed.
Sorry.
So currently, I'm seeing what Parker is going to do.
Okay, Parker, what are you going to do?
I'm heading home.
Okay. Parker seems to be heading in the direction of the Pinfeather district, of either back to Edwards or to his home. Kind of both in the same direction.
Wait, I thought you said it was the opposite direction, because the Pinfeather district is where Edwards is, but he was in the opposite direction of the... Oh, wait, never mind.
Yeah. No, I know. It was interesting there to see you visualize it.
Yeah, for some reason I was putting it on the other side of the guild hall, like farther away, but...
Oh, yeah.
Is it raining again?
It is.
It is. All right. So I have to stow that book. I'm immediately going to go check out the warehouse where I trailed the assassins to.
Ooh. Okay. What are you going to do there? As it is literally across the street from the guild hall.
I'm going to skulk my way over there, and I'm going to leave a present in front of the front door.
Okay.
Bomb.
I wish I could make bombs.
Gaskar could probably whip one of those up for you.
The gift looks like what?
It looks like nothing as I pull out 25 feet of rope and a Magitech drive, and the rope disappears as soon as it coils onto the ground. Right in front of the doors.
Okay.
I leave. Now that I've given Parker a head start, I can now go stalk him for the rest of the day.
Okay. Very well. Cruising Gaskar.
That was the first level spell, Snare.
At the front door? Do you really think they'd walk through the front door?
Well, they bled in through the front door.
Cruz wants to move quickly, so he's just going to scoop Gaskar up and spread his wings and hightail it to Ellanya.
Oh, I would like to contest being scooped up by Cruz.
All right, please shoot him in the face.
Jeez. Well, Cruz, Gaskar kind of pulls away from you.
With a gun.
With a gun.
At this point, do we have line of sight on Parker? Or has it been just long enough to where he has disappeared?
Faded into the crowd.
Around the guild hall, it's not too terribly busy, so I'd say you can see his satyr horns pretty distinctively, pretty far down. Like he's on the edge of losing out.
As I pull away from Cruz and I begin walking off towards Parker, scurrying, running.
Okay. You're off to the races. Cruz, what are you doing?
I'm in the air.
Okay. Parker, as kind of the one in front, you're able to make your way through the Pinfeather district into the Swarf district with no issues.
At what point does Gaskar catch up? Like, I'm not trying to be sneaky. I'm not trying to follow him at a distance.
Oh, after about, 30 seconds, you're able to catch up.
Parker, where are you headed off to? Your parents?
Yes.
Would you like some company? Or perhaps some backup?
It would be appreciated.
I'm with you.
Although it did take both of them to take me down.
Says the man cowering under the table.
tactical position.
Yeah, I'm with Parker, and whenever you want to handle that.
Okay. Cruz, you also catch up to Parker and Gaskar.
Oh, I'm going to Ellanya. I tried to scoop up Cruz, but he scurried out of my way, and I'm still on a mission to go to Ellanya.
Yes, I'm very interested to know how you'd be able to scoop yourself up.
He just hoisted himself by his bootstraps.
Lifted myself up by my bootstraps, and I'm in the air.
I like the envisioning of Cruz scurrying away from himself.
Oh my god.
No, I don't want to fly. I don't want to fly. Flap, flap. No, he's just scratching at the ground.
Blowing fire all over the place. Just. Okay.
The world's angriest alligator.
No, I ain't gonna do that right now.
Okay, Ellanya. You and Edward right now are pacing around the desk.
I'm gonna take the book. I'm gonna be leafing through it for a moment, and I'm gonna start gathering my stuff because I'm gonna start getting ready to go to the guild hall so I can get my credits and check in.
Okay. Very well. Well, as you walk out, you do see Parker and Gaskar kind of crossing by you. Cruz is in the air flying, and you don't see Vall anywhere.
Wait, hold on. If I'm flying, moving faster than both Gaskar and Parker, shouldn't I be landing in front of her right about now?
Yes, actually, because since you were going to Ellanya, yeah. He lands right in front of you.
Always with the dramatic entrances. Hi, Cruz.
It wasn't a superhero landing, it was just a regular landing, and I wanted to get back here quick.
He says as 5 people get flown off their feet by the force of his land, the stone cracks.
Whoa, I didn't mean to land that hard.
To be fair, if he did superhero land, his knee would have taken 1d6 damage, which could have killed him.
Why would I have taken 1d6 damage for a superhero landing?
Bad for your knees.
Well, I landed very gently. And
There you go. Not even a daisy bent around you.
Right onto a Caltron.
I'm going to kind of look at Cruz side eyes and say, hi, Cruz. I'm going to go to the guild hall and get my credits for this contract. I'll meet you all there. And I'm just going to walk by him, and I'm definitely going to seem agitated because I don't know Cruz. I do know that he is a Reinhardt, and I just learned the Reinhardts are responsible for stealing the Alquarium and are single-handedly responsible for the fractures. So I'm going to be a little bit no, and dipping out away from him. Sorry.
Cruz is just gonna shake his head and say, well, okay, and I'm gonna go back in the air looking for Gaskar and Cruz, or Gaskar and Parker.
Looking for yourself, how philosophical.
I was in therapy. I found myself at last.
Philosophical?
Philosophical. Well, Cruz, before you leave, Edward stops you as he's in the doorway. Cruz, might I have a word quickly?
Sure.
The word is death. Power word kill.
Now, I do have a question for you. And he closes the door. This may be a little intimate, and I'm sorry if it comes off as forward.
You want to go on a date?
Whoa now. Excuse me. That's not where I was going with that.
Do you think I'm pretty?
Why are you offering?
I mean, if you're buying dinner, I'm hungry.
I'll pay for a lot more than dinner.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm not that type of blacksmith.
He'll make you some hot iron.
Woo! All right. Okay, well now.
Give you an evening to quench.
No. Oh man. Yep. No, that's fine. Just
Bring a whole new meaning to ball peen.
whoa now.
Are your D&D games feeling stale, plain, or downright boring? Upgrade them today with beautiful landscapes, terrifying dungeons, wholesome inns, and vast forests. Draw your players into your own personal fantasy world with Arkenforge. Arkenforge.com provides hundreds of preloaded items for you to mix and match to fully customize your worlds. Use promo code CRITNIT to get $5 off your purchase today. That's CRITNIT. CRITNIT.
Hey everybody, this is Chris Cornish, your audiomancer for CritNit. I just want to take a little time out to ask you to do a couple of things for us. Find us on Twitter and follow us if you haven't already. We are at crit_n_it. Also, if you could please leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Google Podcasts or wherever else that you find us, it would help other people find us and get the story out to others. And speaking of the story, let's hop back into it.
No, that hammer got stolen, all right?
Who was she? Anyway, so now, Cruz,
I'm not sorry.
why did you leave your family?
Does Ludicius know I'm a Reinhardt? I don't remember telling him I'm a Reinhardt.
No, you never told him.
No, I'm going to look at him and say, I don't know what you're talking about.
I imagine you don't. Now, there's reasons to be assumed here that you are not completely on your own. Now, when the Emperor, and you may be mistaking where I'm coming from here, the Silanaras has sent me.
Okay.
Knowing that you're in the Guildhall has caused very great strain upon the Emperor. I am here to clarify things for him.
I mean, he's the one that wanted me to find him something furry that breathes fire.
Yes, it goes deeper than that. Things are not as they seem with the Reinhardts and the Deodovan right now. They are nearly ready to begin open war in the streets of Hopel. I must ask you, why did you leave your family? I have done digging per requested, and I've come across some very disturbing evidence, and I have to make absolutely sure, as the Silanara has as well, that you are not and do not have any ties to your family as of now.
Look at me, Ludicius, for crying out loud. What is different about me than any other Dragonborn?
You look different.
I look nothing like them. For crying out loud, I'm more human than they will ever be.
He looks different. Get him.
Loyalties are what I'm addressing here, Cruz, not looks.
You understand what it's like growing up, having your father constantly look down on you because of the way you look? Do you have to deal with every Dragonborn looking at you like you're mud? Do you understand the vitriol that I went through, that the only person that ever showed me any kindness was my mother and my best friend? So when I got the choice of either slaving under my spoiled brother or serve with my best friend, do you not think I jumped on that chance?
And your slaying of yourself?
To finally rid... Do you realize the only reason you know this is because of the Emperor? That's the only way you would know. The Emperor is the only one that knows I'm actually alive.
And the following question will reiterate the reason why I'm here. Do you want to make sure your family never breathes again?
No, I don't want anything to do with them. They are literally just pompous rich people that have nothing to do with my life.
Do you want to see them destroyed then?
I don't want to see them anything. No, I don't want them destroyed, but am I going to rush in and save the day if given the opportunity? No.
So you hate them, but at the same time you have sympathy in a way because they are your family.
Okay, let me clarify. I would only save one of them.
Name the one.
My mother.
Fantastic.
If giving the opportunity, I would save her in her hands in a second. And in fact, it absolutely hurt me to know that she thought I died at war, but I couldn't live under the thumb of my father or brother. I couldn't do it.
Perfect.
I needed to branch out for myself.
And branch out you have, Cruz Reinhardt. You have indeed.
Nah, you don't get to use that name towards me. That person is dead. Literally.
Would you like to rewrite your name then? Make it mean something worthwhile in this world before forgetting it?
I'm blazing my own path.
That you are, Cruz, and with your words, and he opens the door again, I will relay them back to the Emperor. He will know of your request, and in the coming days, hopefully it will be fulfilled.
I'm going to slam the door, and I'm going to put a finger in his face, and I'm going to say, if my existence leaks to the Reinhardts, I know who to come after.
Cruz, let us not beat around the bush then. They know you're alive. Unfortunately, intelligence throughout this city has been very tight. There's a reason that you've been left alone. There's a reason why around here no other blacksmith or Reinhardt has set up a district. It is because you set up a shop about 500 yards for them.
500 yard? No, I am way farther than that. I'm in a completely different district. And then on top of that, like I went to a place that they wouldn't even think about going through. They don't even send servants there because it's beneath them.
Of course they don't. But in a city that is being slowly corrupted by the Deodovan, in a city in which anyone and everyone could possibly prove to be a worthwhile rival or serving your demise, they have spent a painful amount of time flipping over every rock, every stone, every last place and person in this city, trying to find out who is friend or foe. And in their search, naturally they ran across one Cruz running a blacksmith shop with 2 large centurions in front of his shop. That drew a little bit of attention.
And they found a tiefling that was dyeing his skin color pretty much every day so he looked differently.
Cruz, you are a mutant. You will never pass as a dragonborn. And as a tiefling, you make a convincing one. However, those who have lived and served within the Reinhardt district, the Rheinmetall district, have known your face. When given the description of this tiefling in a blacksmith shop, naturally blacksmithing being a very competitive market around the Reinhardts, they got curious. Doing a little digging, they realized it was you. Now again, they are not here to destroy your reputation. They saw you and they said, fine. He abandoned us, let him be abandoned. You were sufficiently dead to them. They were not going to comfort you, they're going to let you live your life perfectly by yourself, doing exactly what you wanted to do, which was blacksmith and be left alone. Your father himself deemed it so. It was going to leave you alone. But then, the Reinhardts had now their falling out with the Deodovan. Things now have begun to get so tight, so close to a boiling point that any chink in their great armor is now dangerous. Cruz, I have been sent here by your best friend, as you have called it, to come here and ask your loyalties to your family. If you showed any form of loyalty, I hope you know things for your life would be very difficult. The Reinhardts right now are splitting their ties with the Silinaras. The Silinaras and the Deodovan are going to consume the Reinhardts. If your father points to you, the fire might have consumed you too. Your friend is looking out for your best interest.
So they may have already pointed the flame at me. Can you explain the assassins and the bronzemen that literally almost killed me and then stole my hammer?
Well, I can imagine that they did, in fact, now try to assassinate you. Close that book. I guess their tensions are boiling.
I want my hammer back.
Well, Cruz, why don't you just go up to the Sunmetal Estate, knock on the door, and ask for it? I'm sure they'd be just delighted to give it to you.
Probably need more companions for that. And I probably need an army.
Wonderful. You have a small one behind you with the rest of them. Speak to Ellanya about this first, however. I feel like she'll have some very good advice.
She just practically bit my head off, so I think I'm going to let her cool down.
Well, Cruz, the reasoning for that, your family is in very, very dangerous places in the world. It seems they have been for a very long time.
A light bulb just pops over Cruz's head, and he's going to dig through his bag, and he's going to pull out Greem's journal.
Okay.
And he's going to hand it to Ludicius, and I'm going to look at him and say, this may give insight to the technology that the Cruzes, or that the Reinhardts are working on. Give it to the Emperor.
It is soaked with blood.
He put the head at the bottom of the pack.
No, I never put the bag in my pack. I carried it.
There you go.
There you go. He carried the bag. It's fine. And with that, Ludicius takes the journal, bows, and nods. We're not your enemies, Cruz. We're not here to destroy you.
The only person I can honestly say that about is the Emperor. He's been with me through thick and thin.
Well, I'm his mouthpiece.
And mouthpieces lie.
You see him smile at this. They certainly do.
So, I have a question for you.
I have an answer.
Where do you benefit from this? If the Reinhardts fall, then the military will have no one to create their weapons. The Deodovan can't make anything near what the Reinhardts can for quality and pure skill. So, if the Silenars, are they really going to break away with the weapon dealers of this world?
Well, you see, Cruz, the fact that there hasn't been a war in some time is beginning to weigh on the common people throughout the city. The Reinhardts are the ones who are driving themselves away from the Silenars with their paranoia, their claims of desiring and needing land that is much better used elsewhere. Now, it concerns me slightly that you're defending this, but at the same time, as a military man, I can understand it.
It's not a defense, it just doesn't make sense tactically.
As a military man, I can respect that. Let me put it this way, then, and ease your mind of it. Soon, wars will be a thing of the past. We won't have need for weapons, armor, or any of the other machinations of war.
Do you not understand the heart of every race on this planet? Man, elf, dragonborn, Leonin. No matter what, there's going to be war because there's always going to be differences. Whether it's all of us fighting the fractures as a common, enemy to us all, as soon as those are gone, which I really hope they will be soon, then everybody's going to be in peace for a few generations, and then we're going to be back to war. That's how wars is. That is the story of our history.
You are correct.
There is never not going to be a time for my skills to ever not be needed. The technology may grow, and a weapon crafter will always be needed.
Fair enough. And at this, he opens the door once again, this time kind of looking at you questionably, but opens it and says, "Well, Cruz, I hope that your sickles can be used as scythes for grain. I hope that your swords will be once again beaten into things of more practical uses than war."
Tell me something. Have you been to the Cruzes or to the Reinhardt's compound at all lately?
Not for some time.
Have you talked to Zadok at all lately?
No.
Starting to worry if he's dipping into dementia into his old age.
Oh, I think it's more than dementia that is plaguing that man. Well, once again, I thank you for your time. But I do have things that need to be done.
Is the door open or is it still closed?
No, he has it open.
Oh, Cruz is going to just walk out and immediately fly up as high as he can, going straight to the guild hall as fast as he can.
Okay. Going on to the rest of you. Parker, you reach your family estate. Gascar in tow, Vall behind. Okay. Yes, so, Parker, you have reached your family's shop.
As we approach it, I would actually like to look at the condition of the house. Does it look like normal? It doesn't look like it. Front door's been.
It looks in order. Actually, okay. It looks mostly normal. Roll perception to see how much of it.
Can I aid him and give him advantage on that?
Yes, you can.
First roll being 21.
Okay.
Second roll being a 24.
24. Okay, approaching your house, you do notice something off. There are shirts and socks closed in the bottom half of the windows? Dripping water? Just...
I know what this is.
It looks like someone's hanging out their laundry to dry.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yes, that's exactly what it does. Yep.
That's Janis.
That's Janis.
With that, then I'll run inside.
Okay. One of the drops hits you in the head on the way in.
Dealing 46 cold damage.
Ha! What did you think that was? An icicle just falls from the ceiling. Just
one really cold droplet of water.
Gascar, do you follow in?
I do, but I follow in a little bit slower, and as I come in, I'm taking a close look around to try and take in what I can see.
Okay. Vall, do you also go in?
I am posted up on a nearby building.
Okay.
I said I was going to stalk Parker. I'm going to stalk him to the best of my ability.
Roll a perception check.
Hold on, he's on a building. Does Cruz fly by him at any point?
No, you're flying back to the guild hall, which is in the opposite direction of this.
Perception. That is a 19.
19. Okay, you see everything from the wet, drippy clothes to Parker getting hit in the head with one of the droplets.
Also, it's raining out. Why did you put out the laundry? This bothers me.
Yes. Again, this is
Janis.
I hate this land. I hate this land so much.
Yes. Okay, so upon entering, you guys see that, the natural smells of lacquered wood and sawdust, the constant ticking of the metronomes. And you also see that there are several customers. You see to the side an elf just kind of is perusing some of the violins. You see a red tiefling has now picked up one of the metronomes. As you do this, you also see a white lizard folk on the other side just kind of reaching up to the tallest edge to grab a trombone off of the highest rack of which he's tall enough to reach. And you finally hear a, "I found it!" from up front, where you see a small hand just kind of spit up. And it's got a tiny little ukulele. You hear the person or thing start playing it.
The red tiefling you described, do I recognize that one? Or do I recognize anybody else in the building?
Yes. The red tiefling in particular, ripped, scarred, large battle axe on the back. That's Aji.
Yep, good old Aji.
Over there, hey, that looks like Dunma. That's Nat. And that's probably Merdina up there. Seems as though one of the groups from Guild Lafta is shopping for instruments.
Seeing Merdina. Wait, does Gascar see Merdina?
You would have heard her voice and seen her hold up the ukulele.
Gascar goes immediately running over to her.
She's just strumming it along, and I'd imagine like as she comes like into the view of the aisle, you just bowl her over.
Oh yeah,
just da 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 da. Roll over. What the is? Gaskar. Oh, how are you doing? Wonderful to see you.
Is really good to see you. How am I doing? Could be a lot better. I had to use that flower, by the way, on a friend.
Oh well.
Yes, but thank you for that. It may have saved their life. But, you want to see something cool?
I always want to see something cool.
You need to be very shh.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
And I kind of grab her, and we kind of both turn, and I grab out the Jerry ejector, and I just open the little hatch. It's time to feed him. Jerry, stay there. And I pull out a little piece of coal, and I put it in there. And I'm sure Jerry squirms around and
greedily tries to eat it and just breaking off bits and pieces to try to like consume it as best as it can. Looks up, sees you, kind of smiles, and then goes back to trying to eat the piece of coal. You're like, oh, it's adorable. What is it? Shh. What? Oh, sorry. It's super cute.
Fire elemental.
I thought those were extinct.
This one isn't.
That's really cool.
Don't tell even Duma or Agi or any of them.
You see her like look up above both of you, of which Agi is literally battle axe two-handed over her head, and just okay. But I think at least Agi can hear us. Okay.
And I look up at Agi. Don't tell Merdina. And then I close the lid and put it away.
Gaskar. Yes, no, this would figure. And you see her put her battle axe down, as apparently the thing that suddenly attacked Merdina was something she was ready to literally cut to ribbons in half of a second. Okay. Well, Parker, you see Gaskar almost get bisected by Agi in about half a second.
Parker's going to procedurally go room to room, sweeping the building.
Okay. Going around the room behind the counter, of which you get a very strange look from pretty much everyone but Gaskar. You find your father in the back room, of which your father turns and, Parker, welcome back, sir. You see him tuning the now double violin that seems to have been freshly carved, is working on. Your mother's upstairs, along with Janis. They're doing laundry.
Yes, I've seen it on the way in. Why the window? Never mind. I'll thank you, Father.
What? Okay, and he goes back to tuning it.
So then I'll head upstairs.
Okay. Heading upstairs, checking through the rooms, you find your mother in one room, washing clothes, looking out. Oh, Parker, it is good to see you. Your friend Janis is in the other room, making sure that the clothes are hung up. Is there anything you need?
Now did you... laundry aside, yes. The two tieflings that were here the other day when I came by, have they been back since?
I only recall one tiefling, but she came in. She came in last night. Bought the cello she had been playing, but no, she seemed nice enough. I didn't get her number or anything, so I can't get that to you. But no, came in, paid a good price for it. Very appreciative.
And then I'll leave. I'm checking on Janis.
Okay. Looking at Janis, when you walk into the room, the first thing you have to do is duck. Because when you walk in, there is like rope just like tied throughout the whole room. You see her at the very end, next to several windows, kind of tying on a shirt at the very end, and then lowering it, and then tying on another piece of clothing, and then lowering it out the window. Oh, hello, Parker. Just doing the laundry.
What do you mean you're doing the laundry? What are you doing? Why are you doing it that way?
Well, because it's about the only dry place to actually put the clothes. And you see her like peek out of the window and look up. The eave is there. And well, yeah, no, it's gonna dry. Why? Is there a problem?
I'm speechless. No, keep up the good work.
Aye, Captain. And she goes on tying the knots.
And then I'll make my way back downstairs.
Okay, Gaskar, you watch Parker go upstairs. What are you doing?
I am having conversation with Merdina and the gang, but kind of distractedly so. I'm keeping an eye on Parker, and that he just went up these stairs and wanting to be sure I don't hear any, screams or anything.
Perfect. Well, it seems as though the group from Guild Lafta have selected their musical instruments, brought them to the counter, and Parker's father came out and began to kind of shine them up, make sure they're all ready to go, free of fingerprints or anything, and is kind of ringing them up. As Merdina is explaining to you very excitedly, yes, no, we're going to have a little bit of a performance soon in the Guild Hall. I get to play the ukulele. Agi is going to be the conductor. Dunma is on, he's hopefully a violin, if he can find one that can fit him. He's very particular about it. Has to be within the first 3/4 of an inch. And over there we get Nat, who's just really good at blowing very loud. So we were thinking a tuba, but those are freshly sold out. So we're going with a trombone. And she's just going on all this, on like their whole plan of a performance.
Wasn't Dunma the one who choked on his blood art?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to keep him away from wind instruments.
Yep.
Now, do any of you actually have any experience in playing instruments, or is this just we're just gonna make it happen sort of thing?
Oh no, 3 of us do. Nat doesn't. He's not very musically inclined, which we were thinking cymbals, but he didn't like the loud sound, so we're gonna go with the tuba, but trombone and all.
Brass instruments are kind of loud.
Yeah, but not as loud as a cymbal, at least we're hoping.
I'm going to tell you good luck with that. And maybe some sort of magic tech that dampens sound might be a good idea.
I thought that's why we had this, and she holds up a plunger. Just a toilet plunger.
What are you going to do with that?
She walks over to a trumpet, grabs the trumpet, puts it to her mouth and toots through it, and then kind of puts the plunger at the bottom end of it and uses it as a muffle.
Does this make it a butt trumpet? Is this a plunger?
I've never heard of a butt trumpet, but
Typically, one does not toot into a toilet plunger.
That's true.
toot toot, I get it now. And it's at that point that Parker's father does look down and you're supposed to take the stick out if you're going to use one of those. And you do see her kind of pluck the stick off and then put it back on there and and it does sound a little bit better. But yeah, no, it should work. It'll be fine. It'll be great. We're all good.
Episode 22 for the poop jokes, everybody.
It's all good. All right. Perfect. Well, now that we're all set and ready to go, did you come here to buy anything particular?
Me? No. I came here with my friend who went upstairs.
Oh, like him. Parker, you've checked all of the areas and you've begun to head downstairs.
And at that point, So, which one of them was telling the group about the Silver Shade before?
That was, Dunma.
Dunma?
Yes.
You believe you saw the Silver Shade once before, right?
Believe not, I did.
Okay. I run up to him and I pull out my little sphere that has the image that I recorded. Does this look like him to you?
It looks exactly like him.
Yeah,
Did you see him too?
we saw him too.
I am impressed. What did he do? What did he say? What happened?
Well, he kind of just followed us for a while.
Fascinating. That's what he usually does.
Have you ever heard of him interacting in any other way than just following people?
No. They really just follow. That's about all he does.
How close has he gotten to someone, according to your estimation?
5 to 10, 15 feet.
Ever heard of him getting within like 2 feet of you before?
Not to my knowledge. I've never heard of anyone getting that close to him for sure. For all we know, he can just suck out your life if he gets too close. So usually try to keep a good distance, if anything.
Well, he got within 2 feet of me.
Oh, and you still stand here. Did you fight him off?
Nope. Didn't have to fight him. Didn't want to do that. That seemed like a real bad idea.
All right.
He did not seem hostile in any way, but he is real creepy looking.
That I can agree.
I just kind of
Well.
sat there and let him be there, and he went away.
Well, good to know he didn't suck out your soul like some of the stories claim.
Yeah, if he sucked out somebody's soul, you have to wonder how that story even got back anyway.
You see him look up thoughtfully. Yeah, no, that is a good point. Mostly speculation.
Yeah. Well, you guys have fun with your show and tell performance, and I guess if I don't know if you heard about the malfeasance pact, but we got that taken care of. It's all done. So yeah.
You see his eyes go wide. Malfeasance pact.
Oh, well, if you didn't know, I figured that was news around the guild hall. Anyway, we're done with that, and but I don't know. It might not be coming back. Guild hall stuff seems kind of lame. And at that, I scurry off.
You see Merdina like reach out her hand. Wait, Gascar, no!
Wait, what? What do you want?
You're gonna leave the guild hall?
Maybe. Thinking about it. I'm kind of sick of trying to doing other people's work for them. I'd rather do my own.
Well, that is kind of the point of the guild hall, but well, if you leave, make sure you visit, okay?
Yeah, I'll come by and visit you. You're cool.
Okay. Okay, bye.
Goodbye. And I run over to Parker and everything that you came here for, okay?
When I came here last, one of the assassins was here.
Oh.
Just making sure that they weren't still here.
What did they say? Did they come back?
No, but they made it very clear that my family was in possible danger if I did not do what they asked me to do.
What are you gonna do?
Well, the assassins asked me to go back down into Mist and Sweat. They're looking for something in the Deodovan research area.
I am curious to know what is there, too. And that gets us back down into the fracture. Gives us something to do.
Well, I've confirmed that my family is safe for now. So, it appears that our next journey is back into the fracture.
Well, we know we can get out pretty quick. And we know we can get down there pretty quick.
Agreed. I think it's time that we go and meet up with the others.
Yes. Trying to think if there's any insurance, though, that we can leave behind here for the sake of your parents, but I'm not coming up with much. You know, can you take me upstairs real quick?
Of course. And I'll
Okay.
lead
And you see me pull out a lantern, and I pull up its sheath. This is a lantern of revealing. Anything that is invisible, it becomes seen, and it shines a bright light for 30 feet and a dim light for another 30.
Good old lens of truth.
As you reveal the lantern and go throughout the upstairs, both Janis and your mom kind of show up at the opposite doors facing each other and then open it up. And Paco, what is up with the bright light? What are you doing?
I look down at Gaskar and are we doing another sweep of the house? Or are you going to leave this with my family?
We are doing a look around the house to just make sure everything is what it appears to be.
Doing a good sweep of the house with the lantern, checking in all the nooks and crannies of the house. It is free of anything invisible.
Okay. Well, I don't see anything that was hidden here, at least magically. Does this help set your mind at least at ease?
With the knowledge of nothing hidden, I do feel a little better.
Okay. Well then, let's go back and meet up with the others.